This is the Government Week in Review for the week ending Friday, January 12, 2024. I am Christian Mitchell. In the headlines, Chief Justice Dame Janice Pereira commended for her visionary leadership after 11 and a half years at ECSC's 2024 law year opening. And Prime Minister remains optimistic about health sector developments as government charts the course for 2024. Details to this story and more after the break.
At the NIS, our team proudly works to support the evolving needs of Grenadians. We have made some changes to our operations and want to keep you informed. Firstly, we are happy to introduce the new unemployment benefit. This benefit will provide an insured person with 50% of his or her former income in the case of sudden unemployment. To support this benefit and other benefits we offer, it was necessary to increase the contribution rate. The contribution rate will increase gradually each year until it reaches 16% in 2031. As always, the contribution will be split between you and your employer. The pensionable age will also increase from 60 to 65 years. This increase will also be gradually reaching age 65 in 2029. Pensioners will continue to be eligible for a pension from age 60, but will receive a reduced payment. The NIS recognizes that the prices of basic customer goods are increasing globally. Therefore, we are happy to also increase the weekly minimum pension payment by 25%. Finally, we have adjusted our survivors' benefit payment to a percentage of the age pension minimum. Widows, widowers, and dependent parents will receive 100% or $58 weekly, while children will receive 50% or $29 weekly of the deceased's pension. We are here to make the transition to these new changes as clear and simple as possible. If you have any questions on how these changes impact you and your family, please contact our new informational hotline at 440-6647 or visit www.nisgrenada.org. Thank you for allowing us to be your social security provider.
Welcome back. Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, the Honorable Dame Janice Pereira, gave her final address to mark the ceremonious opening of Law Year 2024 at the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court's special sitting at the Radisson Grenada Beach Resort on Friday. Her Ladyship was sworn in as the first female Chief Justice in 2012 and has since been awarded several awards and accolades, including the Order of the British Empire by Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II in 2013. Under her leadership, the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court was able to address and resolve several issues affecting the judicial system to make it more efficient. After 11 and a half years, she is confident that the ECSC is now in a better place than it was to face and conquer the challenges ahead. Her Ladyship reflected on her journey with the Supreme Court.
Reflecting on the last 11 and a half years brings forth in me mixed emotions. It feels like a lifetime. It feels like a day. We grappled with many challenges, but we faced them together, head on. Many sacrifices have been made, but the rewards of serving in this office have been far greater. As I exit the stage, it is my hope that the court is a little bit better than when I entered. My fervent hope for the future is that the Almighty God, who has seen this court through all its challenges, and who has blessed all its successes so far, will show it journeying mercies on the road ahead.
Legal Affairs Ministers and Attorney General, Senator the Honorable Claudette Joseph and Senator the Honorable Garth Wilkin, and Representative of the Inner Bar in Anguilla Thomas Astafan all sang praises on the Chief Justice for her dedication and passion towards the ECSC's advancement.
I will submit that through her stellar efforts, we are left in a position poised for a future that will see our court going bravely into the next 50 years as a model regional institution. And as Grenada celebrates 50 years of independence this year, the first country in the OECS to do so, we will no doubt cite and celebrate our membership in and contributions to this court as one of our great achievements as a nation.
No person has done more to shape the future of our beloved sub-regional Supreme Court than your ladyship. It is because of the bold actions taken during your ladyship's tenure as Chief Justice that we are now experiencing this modern gem of an institution and a resultant ministerial culture change. I am of the firm belief that this court, the future, is now.
How you dealt with lawyers and litigants, how you are always a peacemaker, how you always helped lawyers, litigants, you are always willing to teach, guide, and assist. And the 6 years you spent there, it hundreds of times I appeared before you. Whatever little bit of knowledge of the law, whatever little good I have in me as a lawyer, came from that experience. And I have to thank you personally for that.
Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell says government cannot continue to run the country as previous administrations, or there will be no realization of transformation. He was at the time speaking during the GBN's Beyond the Headlines program earlier this week on plans for 2024 and beyond. According to Prime Minister Mitchell, new industries and opportunities must be created to boost revenue generation and create wealth. Highlighting plans for healthcare, he called on institutions to build the enabling environment to encourage investments in the sector.
So as a country, we are not going to have transformation if we continue running this country exactly as we're running it now. If we do not create new industries, new areas for business, new areas for opportunities, we will not create new wealth. It's as simple as that. So when I talk about the health industry, I'm not just talking about how we address in a piecemeal fashion the challenge we face here. We have to be able to make Grenada a place where people come because of the healthcare. Right? So it basically means you have to create a fiscal regime and an investment climate that makes people want to come and invest in here simply because of what we're doing in healthcare. And in a sense, the hospital is just a part of that ecosystem. So that means GDB, GIDC, the personnel there, that's what they should be tasking themselves with. How do we create the fiscal incentives? How do we get the capital into Grenada?
The healthcare sector has been criticized in recent times by members of the public. However, Prime Minister Mitchell says the traditional approach to healthcare will soon be a thing of the past and more risk will be taken, therefore giving way to more development.
For countries who are able to leapfrog economically, it's because of bold decisions, it's because of risk. There will be no reward without risk. We have to take some risk. We can't continue with the conservative approach. And I'm saying, let's be honest. We have significant challenges as small islands, energy costs, etc., etc. But if we continue with a very conservative 1% economic growth this year, 2% economic growth this year, every year something could reverse that. A hurricane, war, pandemic, etc. So the likelihood of being in this vicious average poverty trap is going to remain. So there has to be an opportunity where if we're talking what will Grenada be like for the next 50 years, you have to engage in something that is transformative. When you start it may not appear that way, right? I'm sure when as you came, people probably thought, okay, well, maybe Uncle and whoever this gentleman is, Mr. Monica, that say they're doing an offshore medical school, probably might have laughed him with the tongue and say, what's wrong with these two crazy men? But sometimes you need the crazies around in order to be able to deliver on something 30, 40 years. So that's how I feel about healthcare. That it's an opportunity, since everybody wants to live for everybody. Everybody wants to look young. Everybody wants to live forever. That's where the money is. And I think that's why we have to really ensure that we take steps now to create the kind of industry and make sure our institutions are focused on that. And then we can talk about other things, technology, right? So the truth is, we're not going to create wealth if we don't take some, in my view, pretty radical and significant policies that will address economic development, not in the traditional same kind of approach that we've taken.
The Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court must find a way to balance in its use of technology to ensure efficiency in operations. That's according to Chief Justice, Her Ladyship, the Honorable Dame Janice Pereira, at the ECSC's special sitting to mark the opening of law year 2024 on Friday. Her Ladyship said over the years, the move by the court to incorporate technology has reaped tremendous results in improving its operations. However, technology continues to advance, and so should the legal system. She highlighted the introduction of artificial intelligence, which she says can be a way to further develop the court systems.
It appears to be as powerful as it is fascinating, with the ability to accomplish feats beyond our imagination. I am sure it is not lost on any of us the divergent views emerging from the use of AI in the legal profession. It sparks interest and anticipation in the younger and more technologically savvy generation of the legal profession, while invoking the cautious trepidation of those who are more seasoned and traditional among us. There is no doubt that AI has opened an entirely new vista with the promise of a vast range of new benefits, but which will also bring about new challenges for courts and the legal profession.
Her Ladyship, the Honorable Dame Janice Pereira, outlined some of the benefits to be derived from AI for the court system.
What we at the Eastern Caribbean Supreme Court cannot do is to ignore either the benefits or dangers of AI, which is developing at lightning speed and being integrated in every aspect of our daily lives. What I would say to you, though, is that as in all things, balance is key. We must evaluate and take advantage of the forms of AI that will assist us in overcoming the various challenges we face in making the court's processes more streamlined and efficient. New technologies like AI allow us to automate highly repetitive and routine tasks. Some useful implementations of this innovation include automated court schedules, virtual customer service agents, automated document sorting and review, and computerized report generation from applications like our ELP to provide real-time statistics for more effective management and evaluation of our key performance indicators. At the same time, judges must become aware of how to manage and evaluate AI-generated material.
This is the Week in Review. When we return, Women's Health Clinic opens to address and improve healthcare among women.
Your new GRENLEC bill is even easier to read and still has all the valuable information you need to track and manage your usage.
Hey Mom, okay, your friendly tech support is here. So you got the new GRENLEC bill? Let's take a look. The new bill makes it even easier to see your bill total, the due date, and much more. And take a closer look. It actually is a lot easier to understand. Let me show you. You can still see exactly what the charges are for, but in a great new format, it even shows how the cost of generating and delivering the electricity to you is calculated using your actual usage. Anyway, look who says hi, and see you soon.
Your new GRENLEC bill, easier to understand and easier to track your usage.
Welcome back. Former St. George's University student Dr. Timothy McKenney has established a groundbreaking initiative to enhance women's healthcare in Grenada. On Monday, a ceremony marked the official opening of the clinic strategically located in the Grenada Investment Development Corporation Park in Frequency, St. George. The clinic aims to bring volunteer medical professionals to offer care and perform surgeries while also training local health workers. Dr. McKenney was introduced to significant women's health issues and helped establish the non-profit International Organization for Women and Development, Inc., aiming to provide and improve women's health care in third world countries.
My main goal for this clinic is, besides bringing some good techniques and new skills and new education, I intend to become obsolete here. I don't want to end up being the sole entity here. I want to train as many people that want to learn and become my partners and my offspring, if you may, as my fellows have been in the past. I truly believe that we have some incredibly talented people. Julia Guerrera is here. I know her for years now. I've been trying to get this off the ground and be able to work with her as well. I'm looking forward to starting this endeavor there.
Dr. McKinney was inspired by his anatomy professor, Dr. Rao. He also spoke on his areas of specialty and thanked Grenada officials and medical professionals for assisting him with the journey.
My specialty is female pelvic medicine and reconstructive surgery. What does that mean? It means that if you have things that fall apart from childbearing, if you have prolapse, you have urinary incontinence, you have problems that develop from childbearing, if you're torn up pain, these are all areas very much my expertise. If somebody was born without the right anatomy from different genetic predispositions, I can end up helping those patients out as well. But the biggest thing is we're trying to end up getting an outreach to all those patients that don't have this ability on the island. I look forward to helping and being referred patients that anybody else would feel uncomfortable with. And it's really exciting for me and emotional for me to be truly opening today, and absolutely welcome all your support, because that's really what I need, is your support, because this will be nothing without the referrals, without the cooperation, without a teamwork for Grenada, and hopefully we make a huge difference for the island.
Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell commended Dr. McKinney on the initiative. The clinic, he said, will help address the need for women's health care in Grenada.
And I think as part of the development of healthcare in Grenada, we also have to recognize that and encourage the private sector in particular to play its role in helping us address the significant gaps that we have in our healthcare system. And I think Dr. McKinney's clinic, although an NGO, is one of the tools that we need to encourage to begin doing that. So it's a partnership. We each need to work together. There's a lot of things that the government still needs to do to make this happen. I know it's been a long journey. I wouldn't say the journey is ended, it's just beginning, because I think the real fun is about to start.
Officially speaking as Minister for Health, Honorable Philip Telesford thanked Dr. McKinney for choosing Grenada.
We recognize in Grenada, and in particular the cabinet, that there is a huge challenge as far as healthcare is concerned in Grenada. And we really honor and respect the contribution that you have been making, and the fact that you have walked these paths over 40 years ago in Grenada, having attained your education here, and have worked in places like Africa and has decided to return to Grenada, tells us a story that you have practiced on a number of other countries throughout the world, and you have chosen to save the best for last, to actually practice professionally on the people of Grenada. So we really want to thank you for making this your final stop and for setting up this clinic.
The United States government, through the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, in collaboration with the government of Grenada and the CARICOM Secretariat, hosted a 3-day technical working group meeting this week to share best practices on addressing youth crime and violence in the Caribbean. Since 2010, the United States has invested $905 million towards the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative to reduce illicit illicit trafficking, increase citizen security, and address the root causes of crime and violence in member countries. The initiative advances common security objectives in the Caribbean, focusing on transnational criminal organizations involved in drug-related crimes, systematic violence, corruption, weak judicial systems, and at-risk youth. During the opening ceremony, U.S. Embassy Grenada Principal Officer Francis Herrera stressed the importance of collaboration to meet the program's objective.
This critical collaboration allows us to address the alarming rise in crime rates in the region, particularly among our youth. That is not a challenge that any one entity can tackle alone. It requires us to form a united front across regional governments, development partners, youth, the private sector, and civil society. We know that rising crime rates often disproportionately affect at-risk youth, who tend to be the primary perpetrators and victims of crime and violence. It is our shared responsibility to identify and intervene early in their lives and to provide the mentorship and educational opportunities that can divert them from the path leading to criminal activity. Consequently, our partnerships with CARICOM and national governments are indispensable. By working hand in hand, we can influence policy frameworks that prioritize crime prevention and youth development. Allocating resources strategically, enhancing law enforcement strategies, and promoting community-oriented policing are essential components of this collaborative effort.
Program Manager at CARICOM's Directorate of Human and Social Development, Sherwin Toyne Stevenson, said he is optimistic that it will not be business as usual toward the agenda to strengthen systems to tackle crime and violence within CARICOM.
As a community, we are committed to the fight against the epidemic of violence sweeping across our region. Much of this violence exacerbated by the availability of these illegal arms, which is itself linked to transnational organized crime. Thus, the Secretariat is currently developing an implementing framework following the regional symposium. One of the focal areas is the strengthening of systems for a full alignment of our respective work programs, each one of those work programs also aligned to a specific sector within member states. And of course, the rollout will include recommendations for strengthening this alignment of sectors within nations where they exist and supporting the development of this where it needs to be introduced. This action will draw heavily on support from those institutions that form the security cluster, being the Implementing Agency for Crime and Security Impacts, Regional Security System RSS, the Caribbean Public Health Agency CARFA, the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency CDIMA, and the Caribbean Aviation Safety and Security Oversight System CASOS.
The theme of the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative Technical Working Group Conference, Adaptive Management in Citizen Security, underscores the importance of staying nimble and adapting to new information in a changing context. Drivers with a minimum of 5 years driving experience can upgrade their license class without the requirement of an examination. That announcement was made by Finance Minister Honorable Dennis Cornwall during his presentation of the 2024 estimates of the revenue and expenditure. Members of the Royal Grenada Police Force, as they continue to engage and educate the public, outlined the significance of the move and explained how drivers can benefit. Minister Cornwall said from the first quarter of 2024, drivers with a minimum of 5 years driving experience will be eligible for a non-exam-based upgrade. The non-exam-based upgrade will provide opportunities for skilled and experienced drivers to pay to upgrade their license to drive a higher class of vehicle without having to do an exam. There will also be a reduction in the age categories for D-class licenses and above. Corporal Philip James, attached to the Inspection and Licensing Department, spoke about the upgrade.
Based on the pronouncement at the Parliament, the indication was given to an upgrade to a D-class license. We want to be specific. It's a D-class license, which basically permits you to drive a vehicle registered on T, not exceeding 7,000 kgs.
Couple James said one requirement is a valid driver's license.
You should be the holder of a driver's license of at least 5 years. And I also want to believe on every application for that upgrade, your license must be current in the sense that it should be valid.
Right.
Okay? It makes no sense here wanting to upgrade a license for someone who is not actively involved in driving. So here it is that the directive is given that you should be the holder of a driver's license for at least 5 years. The upgrade will basically cover persons with automatic as well as manual.
The D-Class license costs $120 EC dollars per year or $230 for a 3-year period. The Inspection and Licensing Department will provide more updates to the public. The U.S. Embassy in Grenada has donated 20 sets of desks and chairs to the Happy Hill Secondary School. The donation is an extension of a promise made in September of 2023 and includes furniture, books, and other supplies to schools at a cost of approximately US $40,000. The furniture was crafted by inmates at His Majesty's prison. The handing over ceremony took place earlier this week at the institution. Sorana Mitchell has the details in this report.
The principal, staff, and students at the Happy Hill Secondary School are happy recipients of a donation of furniture to the school by the U.S. Embassy. Principal Officer at the U.S. Embassy, Francis Herrera, notes that the furniture is a continuation of the promise made in September 2023.
The U.S. Embassy is delighted to see the realization of this furniture handover today. This is an extension of the continuing promise ship visit to Grenada from September 12th to 22nd on 2023. During that visit, many of the schools received donations, such as bookshelves, books from local authors, refurbishment of classrooms, and sports equipment, of which the schools also benefited and valued at around $40,000 US. Today, we especially thank the staff and the inmates at Her Majesty's prison for their beautiful craftsmanship of the desks and chairs that will assist the students of the Happy Hill Secondary School in their educational journey.
The furniture was crafted by inmates of His Majesty's prison. Officer Jovis Mann was elated to be a part of the ceremony, noting that the inmates are making a positive contribution to education in the country.
Education is important to our nation's youth, and I can't put it into words how happy I am to be here this morning, knowing that the prison made such a wonderful, such a positive impact on the education sector of the nation. I know just a few months ago we did a same handover ceremony at the Alpha Junior School, the primary school, so that's on the primary level, and now we're at the secondary level at Happy Hill Secondary School. And I know that the students here would take good care of the chairs and the desks, and I'm just happy to be here.
Principal of the school, Nerissa Celestine James, thanked the embassy for its partnership and continued support. Celestine James also congratulated His Majesty's prison for work well done on the furniture.
I remembered getting a call asking for a group of our students to participate in a skateboarding activity over the holidays. And it was during this time that our students exhibited a high level of discipline and so on. Then an invitation was extended to me from the U.S. Embassy to attend a cocktail. And it was there the partnership began. To date, I really want to thank Principal Officer Herrera, because she has been instrumental in terms of coming to the school, seeing, assessing our needs, and being willing to help. And this means a lot to us, because sometimes you rarely see people coming in and asking, how can I help? And in a school where we cater to just under 500 students, our needs are many. But the little help that we get is deeply appreciated. And we want to ensure, and our students are seated right here today, and we want to ensure the U.S. Embassy that whatever furniture that is being given to us, we will indeed take good care of it.
The handing over ceremony of the 20 chairs and 20 desks took place at the Happy Hill Secondary School on Monday, 8th January 2024. Sarana Mitchell reporting.
We take our final break. When we return, we will hear more about a women's mentorship workshop currently underway.
Climate change is real, bringing hotter days and less rain. Less rain means less water, so it's crucial for us to conserve water at home. When washing my vehicle, I use a bucket with rainwater that I have stored. This is how I save water. What are you waiting for?
Welcome back. The Grenada National Commission for UNESCO, in collaboration with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development and the Grenada National Museum, is currently hosting a workshop to empower women artisans through product design mentoring. Annette Moore has more in this report.
The workshop is focused on women involved in craft production, jewelry, basket weaving, ceramics, textiles, and woodwork, among others. It is tailored to elevate and empower women artisans through mentoring and guidance. The workshop's opening ceremony was held on Tuesday, January 10th at the Karani James Athletic Stadium. Keisha Jelano, Secretary General for the Grenada National Commission for UNESCO, thanked all involved in making the endeavor possible.
The unique opportunity aims to not only enhance skills, but also to cultivate a vibrant exchange of ideas and innovation. The commitment and creativity of our artisans are the bedrock of our cultural heritage. This workshop stands as a testament to our dedication to fostering growth, empowerment, and inclusivity within our artisan community.
Judy Ann Entwine, representative of the Grenada National Museum, says Grenadian craftwork is essential to the local creative economy. She expressed thanks for an opportunity where women can elevate themselves and their businesses.
The Grenada National Museum is aware of the time, creativity, and energy and skill that is required to create your beautiful works. And we are happy that you've taken this opportunity offered by UNESCO to improve the quality and reach of your products. Therefore, the Grenada National Museum looks forward to inviting you to our Creative Expo later this year, where you can display and sell your craft.
Additional representatives from the Grenada National Museum included Peter Entwine, Deputy Chair of the Board of Directors, and other staff members. Agenda items for the workshop include an assessment of artisans' products and businesses, a field visit to Sandals Resort Grenada and the Grenada Tourism Authority Craft Market, and various workshop sessions, including one on mentoring with an international design and development consultant, Danielle Vizcarra. Vizcarra has 25 years' experience working with artisans.
Since the beginning of my career as a designer, textiles designer, specialized in looms, traditional looms, and expert Andean weaving. And I was always amazed of the talent of people that are very far away sometimes from the cities or the places where they can sell in better prices. So that became a little of my obsession. You know, there has to be a way to have this talent go and be sold with people that can value but also pay the price. If we don't make this a livelihood, a real livelihood, then it will die in time. We have to preserve our traditions but also have a strategy in mind, a business strategy. So I was training in business strategy and start this crazy work of doing my own foundation, and I created a chain of stores, and we be able to work with more than 3,000 artisans in my country in a whole different trades. And that gave me also the opportunity to go to another 12 countries to work with artisans in different parts of the world, in Asia and Middle East. And I'm so happy to always start this seed.
For the GIS Week in Review, I'm Annette Moore.
Officers attached to the Inspection and Licensing Department are urging the public to exercise caution when engaging in purchasing transactions and the transfer of vehicle ownership. This comes in response to growing concerns with relation to transfer of vehicles. WPC 579 Julian Bain, attached to the department, emphasized the importance of thorough documentation verification during the transfer of vehicle ownership. She was a guest on the government Government Information Services one-on-one program with host Sherry-Ann Noel.
We have transfer of ownership. For instance, if one person owns a vehicle and they decide to sell a vehicle to somebody else, they come in at the department with an ID, give the vehicle number, we will check the system to see if that vehicle is on that person's name. Sometimes that vehicle may have a bill of sale on it, so persons have to be very careful when you're purchasing a vehicle. Before you even go to pay somebody, please check. Our number is 405-6594. Call the department, said I'm trying to purchase the vehicle and I just want to know who is the owner of that vehicle. Because sometimes persons die, they leave vehicle, they don't have no wheel, and you pay for a vehicle and you cannot even get that vehicle in your name.
WPC Bain also informed Grenadians to be vigilant when purchasing vehicles with bill of sales.
And if a vehicle has a bill of sale on it, you have to be careful because that person may be owning an entity, and when you purchase that vehicle, the entity can just come to you and just take that vehicle from you, although you pay that person. So persons have to be very, very careful.
And finally, the 2023 Ministry of Sports D's Sports Shop Inter-Secondary School Netball Tournament concluded on Wednesday after rains interrupted the final match in December last year. Anglican High School emerged as the winner in the senior division with a final score of 43.26. The Tantine girls played against the Bishop's College from the Sister Isle. Ania Redhead, captain of the Anglican High School team, who was also named MVP for the school, said though they had some challenges coming into some of the games, she is happy they were victorious.
The season was great because we ended off with a victory, but we had a bit of challenges coming to some games, you know. So yeah.
How you feel winning?
I feel excellent.
Cassia Maturin, captain of the Bishop's College, said they will work to improve their confidence coming into the next tournament.
The tournament was very, very, very good. I really do enjoy it, although we didn't come out victorious in the ending, but I'm proud of my team at the end of the day, and we next year will become more, you know, better.
Happy Hill Secondary School placed third in the senior division. Coordinator of Sports, Carolyn Peters, congratulated the winners, other participants, sponsors, and the Ministry of Sports organizing team for a successful tournament. He said netball is on a high and the ministry will continue to give support for the development of the sport.
I know that the schools were excited about the final. We want to thank the sponsors, the schools, the spectators, the students, all netball lovers that come out, the Netball Association, that come out to witness the final of the competition. We want to say congratulations to the winner in the Anglican High School and the second place Bishop College. We also want to say congratulations to the junior places where Grenville Secondary won the junior and Anglican High School placed second and Happy Hill placed third. So congratulations to the ladies. We saw the final, we saw a grand opening with the largest numbers of turnout. We saw the first five. We see all the games played, and we have to say a special thanks to this sports shop for the number of years of uncut sponsorship and support to the netball secondary school netball tournament. So thank you, Mr. Daniel and Mrs. Daniel, for your continued support. And we're looking next year to have it bigger and better, as all plans on stream for that. The teams, we see the under 16 teams and the national team are preparing. So right now, Ms. Belford and our team, which we congratulate for outstanding competition, is preparing for the junior tournament this year. And I know some of the girls from here are selected as on the child team. So we're looking forward to that. So netball is on a high, and we want to congratulate everyone from the Ministry of Youth and Sports for the support for making the competition a success. And congratulations again to all the teams. You're all a winner in developing the female sport, and we'll continue to support you in the ministry to make sure that you grow into the sport and be winners in all aspects of it.
That brings us to the end of the Week in Review for the week ending Friday, January 12, 2024. I am Chris Ann Mitchell saying thank you for viewing.